Hi, today we're going to be making clay mask. For this project you will need some clay and then different tools that you're going to be helping to sculpt the clay. If you don't have a kiln to fire your clay in, you will want to have air dry clay or oven baked clay. And today I'm going to be working with some air dry clay, which you can find in the craft section of most stores. For this project, the mask is not going to be big enough to wear. We're going to be actually sculpting it on our knee. But oftentimes masks were found just hanging in houses or even used as worn on the hip or necklaces in some of the African cultures. So let's get started. You want to have about the size of a potato worth of clay, and then you're going to be taking plastic wrap and it's going to be going on your knee. With the clay, you're going to place it on your knee over the plastic wrap, and then you're going to start forming the clay around your knee, and this is going to give you the form of your mask base. And if it does start to crack, you can either use your fingers to smooth it out, or if your clay starts to get a little too dry, just dip your fingertips in a little bit of water, and that will really smooth out those cracks. You can also use a sponge if you'd rather use a tool like that to help smooth out all those cracks. Now I do have one of these that I've already formed over my knee. And you want your clay to be about 1/4 of an inch thick. If it's much thicker than that, it will take too long to dry. And if it's too much thinner, you might have problems with it breaking. Now after you have it formed on your knee, we're going to go ahead and place the eyes. You're going to take your thumbs, and about halfway down on the mask is where we're going to be placing our eye sockets. And you're just going to be pushing into the surface, and that's going to give you your eye sockets there. Then you want to take a little bit of clay and you're going to be rolling it into the eyeballs. And then you can judge to see if it's too big or too small, and you'll want to make 2 of these. I already have 2 that's been formed here. And you'll be just placing them in there. The next thing you'll want to do is you'll want to make a coil of clay. And this is going to be part of the eyelids that's going to be covering up the top and bottom part of the eyeball. And I already have some coils made here. And you'll be sculpting these coils, and this is going to help hold in those eyeballs. Now if you want your mask, remember that any of the expressions on masks are going to be quite a bit more exaggerated, and so you can make the eyes wider. Maybe you want them really, really narrow. So all that will be up to you, how you place your eyes and what shape you give to it. The eyes are said to be the windows of your soul, and so that's where you're going to get a lot of the emotion from your mask. So you're going to simply be placing these coils around the eyes, and once again you can either use your fingers or your tools to help smooth it around your eyes. Now if you don't have some of these clay tools, even some plastic spoons or plastic knives can do the same thing. You would continue to smooth it around. Now for your nose, one of the things with some of the cultures is the nose, if it was bigger, it was more of a comedic mask, or the character was going to be that much sillier. So that's going to be something that you can tie into your mask. To attach the mask, we do want to do some scratch and slip. So I'm taking my needle tool here and I'm scratching the surface. And I'm going to do this both where the nose is going to be placed and on the back of my nose, which you can form into like a cone shape to start off with. And then to make the slip is just really, really wet clay. And so I just took a little bit of clay, added quite a bit of water to it, and this is going to act as a glue for these pieces to be stuck together. And then you would once again smooth down your edges. Now to do the mouth, we're actually going to be cutting into the surface of our mask. You can take your needle tool and you can place it For a realistic looking face, you'd want it in the middle of the eyes. And you would just cut straight through your surface. And it might take a couple passes through. And then going from the back of your mask, you can push it, and this is going to open up your mouth. You can add additional clay on there if you want to make the lips more pronounced. And instead of actually using your needle tool to scratch things into the surface like wrinkles or expressions, it's even better to add the extra clay to it. So if you want to do that with eyebrows, surprised expressions, even wrinkles, mustaches, beards, all that stuff you can add to it instead of scratching it into the surface. So here I'll just add a little bit on there. And if you did want to add actual hair with either yarn or even fake hair that's out there, you can use a straw or your needle tool, and you can push right through the surface, and then you'll be able to tie that on once it is dry. Now here's another mask where I have done a little bit more, and you notice that I used the needle tool to draw in the pupils there. I added a little bit of clay for the mouth, and once this is painted up and some extra things are added to it, it'd be a nice mask to have to hang in your home. And that's how you do clay mask. Have fun making your mask.